Happy October, all my movie-loving maniacs. This is your boy Bankful B, and welcome to the 2025 Lassiter Factor Halloween Special. The special where I review spooky or spooky-related movies for the Halloween season, and I'm going to kick it off with Marvel Zombies, which was released on Disney Plus last week, so let's review and stay tuned at the end of the video where I'll give more information about what to expect for this special moving forward for the month. So Marvel Zombies is essentially a spin-off that sprung off of the Marvel Zombies episode from What If, and this show is basically an extension of that episode. We get 4 episodes, which takes place after that particular episode, and we see all the other heroes within that timeline of the Marvel Universe, and we see how they react to the zombie apocalypse and how they try to overcome it or stop it and how they've been living with it. Now, like I said, it is a spinoff of the Marvel Zombies episode from What If, which was one of my favorite episodes from that show, and I'm glad that we get to see an extension of that episode and get to see other characters. And generally speaking, I was excited for this just because, Marvel and zombies, that is an insane concept that I am all here for. And now that I've seen it, I am here to report that I absolutely love the show. To me, this is not just one of the best Marvel shows, but this is also probably one of the best things Marvels have put out since Endgame. Of course, I love the animation here, but the biggest thing about the show is that it did not pull its punches. It is bloody, it is gory, and it is scary too, but it's not also without its humorous moments. It still maintains that Marvel humor, but at the same time, it takes itself just a little bit more serious than any other Marvel projects, let alone Marvel TV series. It is rated TV MA after all. My only gripe about the show is that it's only 4 episodes. I wish we could have seen more, but I get it. They want to save some for next season, if there is going to be a next season, but each episode was entertaining, and they're all each roughly 30 minutes, so this was one of the easiest binges I did this year. And I really mean that. I binged this whole series in one night. Now, granted, I fell asleep doing that last episode, but luckily I woke up and picked it back up in the morning, and I was just done with it like that. Now, one complaint I've heard about this show is that it's mostly centered on all the characters that were introduced in Phase 4 and 5, which I get, but you gotta think, all the characters from the first 3 phases, they're either dead or got turned into zombies, so it won't make sense that we would focus on these characters, and plus it takes place during Endgame. And plus, they didn't pick any, at least in my opinion, they didn't pick any bad characters to put in a zombie scenario. The show does start off with Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, and Riri Williams, which also like because it was also kind of a hint as to what we could expect with the Young Avengers if they ever do that in live action format. But it was just fun seeing them play off of each other and seeing their funny moments together and seeing how they work together. But eventually, the show does center around Ms. Marvel, which again is another complaint I've heard from people, but she does end up meeting the Black Widow family, Yelena, Red Guardian, and Belina, and they even do something that Belina did in the Black Widow movie that she does with the zombies, which I thought was smart and cool in itself. And in the second episode, it mostly focuses on Shang-Chi and Katie, played once again by Awkwafina. Really, the whole cast of the show, they're all voiced by their movie counterparts. You get Simu Liu, Awkwafina, Haley Steinfeld, Florence Pugh, whoever they played, they returned to voice these characters, with the exception of a few, like Tom Holland does voice Spider-Man, and we get the introduction of Blade, or a variant of Blade in which he gets turned into Moon Knight once Mark and whoever the other guy's name, the other personality for Mark is, he basically dies off in his universe, and so Khonshu, he latches on to Blade in this movie, so now he's Moonlight Blade. But regardless, he is cool as hell in this. Granted, I wish he was voiced by Mahershala Ali, but hey, this is the closest we get, and how they use him in this show was excellent and cool. And we do even get to pick up where we left off from the Marvel Zombies episode from What If, in which T'Challa Ant-Man's head with the cloak from Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man, who's not voiced by Tom Holland. They're the only ones left from that episode, and they get to Wakanda. But Thanos, zombie Thanos, he's still looking for the Infinity Stones. They all fight against him, and he, as much as his mind is infected, he does eventually figure out how to use the stone, just slowly. But I will gotta say, this is the biggest thing that stood out to me from the show, and it's when T'Challa he fights Thanos head on with one leg, and the way they justified that, I just thought it was cool in itself. And they do give, spoiler alert, they do give him an honorable death, and I gotta say, I just like his death. I thought his death here was more honorable than in Wakanda Forever, and I did like how they handled his death in Wakanda Forever. They even do more with zombie Scarlet Witch, zombie Wanda, in which she is the central villain of these 4 episodes. I don't know what they're gonna do with her with the next season, if there will be one, but the way they did her in this show was just scary in itself. There's so much about this show that I absolutely love, and only a few gripes, but it's not the best show, but it's definitely one of the best. And I'll just say that the way this season left off, it kind of left me underwhelmed and just wanting more. And I don't know what's about to happen, but I am excited. I'm gonna give Marvel Zombies the hard eyes emoji.